Keď sa povie India, mnohí z nás si predstavíme najľudnatejšiu krajinu na svete, ktorá si aj napriek rôznym vplyvom dokázala zachovať svoje bohaté a unikátne kultúrne dedičstvo. Je nám preto cťou dnes v štúdiu privítať veľvyslankyňu Indickej republiky na Slovensku, jej excelenciu pani Apoorva Srivastava. It's an honor for us today to welcome you here in TV Bratislava. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much for inviting me for this show.
Pani Srivastava sa stala indickou veľvyslankyňou na Slovensku v auguste v roku 2023. Moja prvá otázka preto znie na jej predložlé skúsenosti v diplomácii. You became the ambassador of India in the Slovak Republic in August 2023. Tell us a little bit about your experience in diplomatic services.
Okay, so I had joined the Indian Foreign Service, that is Diplomatic Services of India, in 2001. And after that, I did two postings in France. I had one posting in Kathmandu, and I was Consul General of Toronto before coming to Slovakia. Also, I have worked as Chief of Staff for the Foreign Minister for 4 years. And looked after administration in our ministry. So it's been 23 years of service.
Slovensko a India sú veľmi odlišné krajiny, čo sa kultúry týka, čo sa týka klímy a najmä veľkosti. Zaujímalo by ma, aké boli prvé dojmy pani veľvyslankyne na Slovensku. What were your first impressions when you came to Slovakia? Have you ever visited Slovakia before?
Unfortunately, I had never visited Slovakia, but I was really mesmerized by this beautiful country. I'm really, very, very fond of Bratislava and Slovakia now. The people are so friendly, people are so warm, and it's been a great experience. Last 6 months have been great, and I've been trying to travel across Slovakia. It's such a beautiful country, and I'm really delighted to be here.
Ambasáda ako aj rezidencia pani veľvyslankyne sa nachádzajú v centre Bratislavy. Ako sa vám páči naše hlavné mesto? The embassy and the residence is located in the city center of Bratislava. How do you like our capital and its surrounding areas?
The best thing I like about Bratislava is, it's very walkable. You can walk. There's very less traffic, and you can walk around, and people are friendly, and it's a small town. The old town is very charming. I really like the old town. It's not too much rush. It's very beautiful, and of course I have been moving around other parts of the city as well. I've been to Slaven. I go to different places. I choose a place and then I walk because you can walk there. So I'm really enjoying the city right now.
Možno veľa ľudí nevie, čomu sa také veľvyslanectvo venuje, okrem udeľovania víz. What are the main activities, services, or the goals of your embassy? Our embassy basically, in one line, if I can say that, to increase the relationship between Slovakia and India. That's the main objective, and for that we do different things. One is, political relationships. How do we increase the political relationship? The visits between our two countries. So recently, Honorable Foreign Minister Mr. Blanar went to India last week with a big business delegation. So this will increase the visits between the two countries, will enhance the relationship. Secondly, how do you increase the trade between two countries? And trade and investment. As you know, we have a big investment here in Slovakia, Jaguar Land Rover, 1.2 billion worth, 1.4 billion worth of investment. How do we bring more Indian companies to invest in Slovakia? How do we take more Slovak companies to invest in and do business in India? Third is cultural relationship. Cultural relationship, for people to people. How do Slovak people know more about India? How do Indian people know more about Slovak? Increase the tourism between our two countries. Bring cultural troops from India to here. Take cultural troops from Slovakia to India, just to know people better. Then there is also, academic relationship between universities, to bring more Indian students to study here, faculty exchange, student exchange,
and just to know each other better, to work with each other. And as you know, India is the 5th largest economy in the world right now. So how can we can work together as democracies? We are both democracies, and how do we work together and increase our relationship?
The embassy itself organizes many events.
Yes, we do. We have started organizing lots of events. For instance, there's a Festival of Colors, which is in March, and 24th March we are organizing it in Stanica. Then we will organize the International Day of Yoga very soon. So the details will come on our website and our social media. So I'll request everybody to follow our social media and participate in the events. And also we have recently started organizing yoga classes in the embassy thrice a day. So if people can, register and come for those sessions as well.
Everybody is welcome?
Everybody is welcome.
Bývalé Československo bolo jedným z hlavných obchodných partnerov Indie vo východnej Európe. Aká je ekonomická spolupráca so Slovenskom teraz? The former Czechoslovakia was one of the India's major trade partners in Eastern Europe. Then the modern relations began in 1993 after the formation of the Slovak Republic. What are the economic relations with Slovakia now?
The economic relations are good, but it can be better. There's a huge potential between our relationship. So we have approximately 800 million euros worth of trade, but our objective is to get it to 1 billion euros in next 2 years. And there are a lot of areas where we can work together to increase this trade. There are a lot of investments. As I said, there's an investment of Jaguar Land Rover here in Slovakia. We have some IT companies. We have more and more interest of Indian companies to invest in Slovakia. Also, there are certain Slovakian companies, Tatra Slovakia, it makes wagons for railways in India. We have a biofuel company in India. We have some defense companies in India which are operating. So our aim is to facilitate more of these exchanges and increase both the trade and investment between our two countries.
Nie menej dôležité sú tiež kultúrne vzťahy. Počas oficiálneho stretnutia pani veľvyslankyne s ministerkou kultúry vyzdvihla pani veľvyslankyňa krásu slovenského folklóru a spomenula, že aj naša dedina Čičmany má niečo spoločné s Indiou. Essential are also the cultural relations between our republics. During the official meeting with the Ministry of Culture, you've mentioned that you really like the Slovak folk culture and that our village Čičmany has something in common with India.
Yes. I think culture is one area that can bring people together, and it doesn't need language. There's a language barrier between our countries, but when there's culture, it brings people together. So yes, there's a lot of things we can do in culture, and as you rightly said, I really love the folklore festivals and the folk things of Slovakia, because many countries have not preserved it, and I'm really proud that you have preserved it so well. And so many, I went to Chichimani, and it's so beautiful. And the thing which I found common, and which I told the Honorable Minister of Culture also, was, we also have villages where the tribals paint the houses, and that's a great art form. So I had suggested her that we can bring together these rural people. They are living in, they are tribal people. We can bring them together and do workshops. So that will create a kind of a very good, atmosphere for the cultural exchange. And there's a lot of folk festivals. We also have a lot of folk festivals in India. As you know, India is very diverse. So we have 29 states, and every state has its own cultural dances and folklore and folk festivals. So it gives us a great opportunity for exchange in this particular field.
Na Slovensku žije a študuje mnoho Indov. Podľa údajov
študentov je okolo 600. You've visited Technical University in Košice. Is it correct that there are around 600, 700 students studying in Slovakia at the moment?
Yes, there are around 500 students studying in Košice. As you know, we are 1.4 billion people, a very large population, the most populous country in the world. And our students go out abroad to study. I was in Canada earlier. We had 400,000 Indian students studying in Canada. Wow. So, of course, there's a lot of scope. Not many students have come to Slovakia because of the language barrier. But Košice Technical University has started many courses in English, so many Indian students have started coming here. Yesterday I went to the Economic University and there 10 Indian students are studying. So there are more and more Indian students are coming here to study, and I think they will be a great bridge between our two countries. They will be the new ambassadors for each other later on. They will work here, they will do business here, maybe marry here, I don't know, but I think that students to student exchange is extremely important.
Mňa by zaujímalo, v akých odvetviach najčastejšie pracujú, ak zostanú na Slovensku. I'm interested, what kind of fields do they work in if they decide to stay in Slovakia?
There are two categories. One is student. Mostly they are doing technical work, so of course they will take the technical works because they are doing technical studies. Many Indians here, are running some small businesses like restaurants and grocery shops and similar small shops. But there are large chunks of Indians who are working in the auto industry. For instance, in Jaguar Land Rover, there are more than 200 Indians who have come from India to work here for 3 years. Also in Renault, Peugeot, the French car makers, they also have around 300 Indians who are working there. So many of them are working in the auto car sector.
Mnoho Slovakov miluje indickú kultúru. V Piešťanoch je už dlhé roky festival India plná farieb a v Bratislave je veľmi aktívny India klub, ktorý nedávno oslavil už 40. výročie založenia. Many Slovaks love India. For example, in Piešťany there is a festival called India Full of Colors, and in Bratislava there is a very active India club. Do you somehow support their activities?
Yes, we do, and because they are working, because we are working towards the same objective, so we do support both India Club and this Colors of India Festival. And in fact, we have taken the Colors of India Festival to other cities like Nitra, and we went to Martin with the festival. So we are taking the Colors of India Festival out of Piešťany to other cities as well. And it is my objective to go to different cities in Slovakia and tell them about India, because I think everybody loves India, but there's a lot of things that we need to tell them more about India. And this summer I plan to bring 2 cultural troupes from India and make them participate in some of the festivals that happen. Mm-hmm. So this will people will get to know more about the Indian culture then.
Your Excellency, so far you have been in Slovakia for a few months.
Yes.
How long do you plan to stay? For how many years?
Normally our posting is for 3 years, so definitely I'll stay for another 2.5 years. And I plan to do several things, in terms of yoga, in terms of Ayurveda, in terms of promotion of Indian cinemas and in Slovakia, and in terms of improving the trade relations between our two countries and enhancing the people-to-people relationship. I think that is my main focus right now, and I would need all your help to promote India here in Slovakia, and I will definitely do all my bit to promote Slovakia in India.
Lots of work.
Lots of work.
Na záver poďakovanie za návštevu. Your Excellency, we really appreciate your presence here today in our studio and wish you a successful diplomatic mission in Slovakia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Naším vzácnym hosťom bola dnes v štúdiu veľvyslankyňa Indickej republiky na Slovensku, jej excelencia pani Apoorva Srivastava.